Hey, it's Ben Wise from ZOAR Fitness, and this is the name game. Workout number 39 is over it. 4 time. It'll be 10, 10, 20, 20, 30, 30 of a burpee box jump over and a shoulder to overhead. The burpee box jump over height is the standard open height of 24 inches for males, 20 inches for females, and the barbell weight will be 155 for males, 105 for females. All right, so let's get into movement standards. First of all is the burpee box jump over. If you are under 55 years old, you have to jump up the burpee box jump over. So you jump it up, 2-foot takeoff, you can land any way you want on the box, and you can get across the box low, like you don't have to stand up tall across the box, but your hands cannot touch the box. So only the feet can touch the box, and you can step down, jump down, whatever you want to do on the other side. So jump up, get over it, only your feet can touch. The shoulder to overhead, it is a jerk of any style. So it could be a strict press, a push press, push jerk, split jerk, whatever you want to do to get that bar overhead works and counts, right? The big thing with that is that, you're actually getting it locked overhead and making sure that it's completely locked out, but then also that it's over top of your actual midline. It's not out in front. One standard I forgot about the burpee box jump over is that you can step up those burpees. That's perfectly fine, but you gotta make sure chest and thighs are on the floor at the bottom of the burpee. It is also a box facing burpee. Should have said that as well. All right, so setup. Pretty simple. You're gonna put your bar off to one side, no different than like a 17-1, 21.2 type dumbbell off to the side of the burpee box jump over. This is the same thing. Just kind of get it off to the side in between. Pretty simple setup there. The workout thoughts, I would say number one is that there's no time cap, right? Which is good to know that you're gonna be kind of grinding through this the entire way and no time cap will save you. But secondly is that the number of reps that you're actually having to go through. So it is 60 reps per piece for each of these movements. So oftentimes when it's a, if this was 9, 15, 21, people are like, ooh, like this is a sprint type workout. I wouldn't really say that this is a sprint type workout. Number one, the weight's heavy enough where, you're not gonna be doing 30 reps unbroken at 115, 105 unless you're a very elite athlete. And then also like the burpee box jump over, that's a long cycle speed movement. Like that's not a pull up or a thruster where you can get through those quickly. Like those are gonna take 4 or 5 seconds a rep likely. So again, this isn't quite as much of a sprint. It extends well past that. So you have to be able to moderate your intensity a little bit. But then also, if we compare this to maybe something that more people are familiar with, if we did like a 1 to 10 or a 10 to 1 type ladder, it was like 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, up to 10 and 10, that's 55 reps a piece. So if you remember 18-2, it was bar facing burpees and dumbbell squats. Again, that was 55 reps a piece. So it's actually less than this. And obviously the chunking of this is way denser where you're not going through 10 sets. You literally have 3 sets that you're going through to get to this. So it's gonna be more challenging than I think a lot of people give it respect for initially. And then also I think that there's more interference, movement interference in this workout than most people would probably expect initially. So number one is like burpee requires quite a bit of pressing strength and kind of core rigidity. And then also obviously a jerk is gonna require that as well, but then also your breathing is gonna be so high that it's really hard to be able to stabilize overhead with a bar when you're breathing super hard. A lot of people have a hard time with that. So also for a lot of people who kind of have maybe ideal movement quality, they tend to get into this hyperextended position when they're overhead. They can't get a full exhale, and they really can't breathe effectively when their arms are over their head. So they, again, probably have to drop the bar to be able to kind of catch their breath. So if you're someone who has good positions and you have great pressing muscular endurance, maybe it's not as much of a limiter for you, but I think a lot of people are gonna be slowed down by that. And not just tricep fatigue, but also like your legs. Like you're jumping 60 times, you're doing a burpee 60 times, and you're also doing a jerk movement 60 times. So it's a lot of legs and breathing as well. So I think a lot of qualifiers and certainly like the open, has a lot of like these styles of workouts where the movements get chunked just big enough where you're not gonna, do it unbroken. So it's almost like a mini chipper within like a bigger workout. So for example, like 17-4 or 16-4, I think that was the same workout as a repeat. It was 55 deadlifts, 55 wall balls, 55 row calories, 55 handstand push-ups, which for the elites, they're going through more than a round of that workout. So it's not necessarily a chipper, but you are sort of gonna have to break a lot of those movements up. So it's kind of odd. Or you're gonna have to, for example, another one was like 100 double unders, like 50 wall balls, 7 ring muscle ups. I could have the order wrong on that, but it's the same sort of idea where like there's pretty big chunks of these movements where you're probably gonna have to break them up unless you're elite. And then you're gonna have to figure out, okay, what are my manageable sets? And then I can kind of move on. But then likely I'm also gonna have to come back to that same movement again later on in this workout. And then the other thing that we see a lot is that this is an ascending rep scheme. So not only is it like where you get more tired into the latter parts of the workout, but then also you have bigger chunks to do of that same movement. So this would be obviously much easier if it was 30-30, 20-20, 10-10, but instead it's flipped, it's the opposite of that. So it makes it more challenging. So 2 things that I think will be helpful is focusing on efficiency in both movements, but especially the burpee box jump over. That's a movement that for most people, is pretty easy to just kind of keep moving the entire time. However, it's also easy to get to the point where you've gotten done with your set and now you have to stop and rest for 20, 30 seconds before you actually pick up your barbell for the first time, just because you went out too hot and you weren't focused on movement quality and efficiency during the actual movement itself. So I'm gonna link to probably the variation of the burpee box jump over that I want almost everyone to do in this workout realistically, where it's like the swivel style burpee box jump over. You jump up, you land with one foot right on the edge of the box, you step it down and you pivot and then sweep the feet, right? That's probably, I want to say, the most efficient way that you can do burpee box jump overs. I've seen that out of a lot of the elites, which is, I didn't make it up. I saw it being done by people and that's sort of where it came from. But that's what I would recommend. If you haven't practiced that a lot, maybe pick a different variation for today or do some easy unfatigued practice before you actually get into the workout so it's ingrained and it feels a little bit better. And then the second thing is take manageable breaks on your shoulder overhead, right? Yes, every time you drop the bar, you have to do a clean from the floor to be able to actually jerk it again. But that being said, like, you're better off breaking and not having this massive set and then having your heart rate and respiration rate so high and your blood pressure that you have to take a long break to be able to pick up the bar again. You're much better off breaking, every 5 to 7 reps or something, and then, clearing that fatigue, blowing off some CO2, and then, getting right back to work rather than taking a big chunk and then a big rest. Manageable sets, manageable rest, in my opinion. So those are my overall thoughts. If you're someone who's just watching this on YouTube, be sure to check out the protocol. You can get a free week if you go to zoarfitness.com/pro-trial. And then also along with the protocol, or with Pro, you not only get the protocol, but then you also get the Vault, which is every program that I've written, all my ebooks. You'll get access to all that. And then also Pro articles where I go in depth on a lot of different topics, all about CrossFit and sport of fitness. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to check it out. I'll link to it below. And for everybody else, best of luck on Over It.